Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. I'll get to today's reading in a while, but first, a big shout out to my sponsor Keen, the largest network of psychic advisors that's out there. Their advisors are available 24/7, so you'll always find someone to talk to. You can ask about love, relationships, career, personal growth, and anything else that you need help with. I had consulted a Keen advisor some time back through a live chat, and a lot of what she told me made perfect sense. Their responses are so prompt, you guys. My reading lasted for a little over 10 minutes, and in that duration itself, she had already answered 7 to 8 questions of mine. It's very easy to get a reading on Keen, by the way. You just have to open an account, choose an advisor based on your concern, select whether you wish to connect via chat or call, and that's it. As a first time user, Keen is offering you the first 5 minutes of a reading for just $1. Use the link in my description box, trykeen.com/happyhightarot to connect with a Keen advisor today. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out what does your crush think about you, how do they feel for you, and then we will further take a look at will they take any action towards you, if you take any action towards them, how will they respond, what will happen next between you both, and what guidance would spirit like to give to you regarding this crush situation of yours. So you can see an image on your screen right now. You've got 3 options to choose from. Feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hello group 1, so if you guys chose the first image, let's begin your reading by taking a look at what does your crush think about you. So the cards that came out for you guys are Owl, which says listen to the messages of the angels. And we have the Galactic Federation that says collaboration, meetings, and community. So this individual that you have a crush on might be someone that you either study with, you work with, might be a neighbor. You guys are somehow a part of the same community. And that's where you both might have noticed each other for the first time. They definitely think that there's a lot of wisdom to you. You seem to be an old soul. You seem to be someone who's wise beyond their years. Especially if this is someone who's attended some sort of meeting with you, whether it was a community thing or whether it was a meeting at your workplace or something happening at your school event. They've noticed the kind of things that you say and they make a lot of sense. Whatever it is that comes out of your mouth always makes a lot of sense to this person. So they really admire the knowledge that you possess. They love your eyes, especially if your eyes are brown in color or shades of brown. So they really like your eyes. They think that your gaze is very intimidating. So if ever you've noticed that when you look at them, they immediately start looking away, or if you've noticed that they're not able to maintain an eye contact with you while having a conversation with you, it's because they start feeling very intimidated when you are holding a direct eye contact with them that way. They also feel that you're someone who's very approachable, someone who's very friendly, someone who gets along really well with everyone. Regardless of how big or small your social circle is, they've seen you always being at your best behavior with people. They've never seen you hushing away someone, they've never seen you shying away from a conversation. So they get a sense that you are a very people's person. Like you're not a people pleaser, but you are a people person. You like being around people, you like talking to people, you like helping people, and you might just in fact be everyone's go-to person for all I know, group 1. And if that is true, then that's another thing that this crush of yours has noticed about you and they like about you. They also like how you don't really force your ideas on anyone, is another thing that I just heard. So especially if this is someone whom you usually get to meet for meetings or collaborations of any kind, they've always noticed how you never force your ideas or shove your ideas down anyone's throat. You present your ideas, you present your point of view, but then you're very open to hearing what other people have to say as well. So the fact that you're not very stubborn that way is something that they really like about you. All right, moving on, let us see how does this crush of yours feel about you. So for that we have space, then we have growth, and we have surrender. All right, with the space and growth card over here, this tells me that whoever this crush of yours is, group one, they aren't a part of your inner circle right now. This isn't someone who's very close to you at the moment. And there is some space between you both, but they want to fill that space up. They want to be a part of your inner circle or get closer to you. They want this connection to grow. They want to grow towards you and fill up this space with the connection that they want to have with you. And the thing is that with the surrender card over here, it feels like regardless of how you behave around them or regardless of what you do, they always feel this pull towards you that they can't really explain, but it's just there. And I'm also hearing with space and growth over here that the fact that they're not as close to you as they'd like to be is something that really bothers them. With growth over here, it seems, especially with surrender, they might not be the sharpest tool in the box. I just heard that. I mean, I know how that sounds a little harsh, but I think the reason why I got this message for this person is because they don't really utilize their brain as much as they can to come up with a way to become a part of this space of yours. We know their intentions, we know that they admire you so much, and clearly if they want to become a part of your space, if they want to become a part of your inner circle, they like you that much then. But the fact that they're not able to come up with an idea, the fact that they feel like, and it's not that they don't think, they do a little bit of brainstorming, but it's almost as if they stop midway. They start thinking about ideas, they start toying with certain ideas, but then they stop, like, oh no, this will never work and that will never work. That's the energy. And somewhere it also seems as if your crush thinks that there are a lot of people between you and them. Now, where is this message coming from? I have no idea. Of course, you've picked this group, you know your situation better. So, when this person says that they feel that there are a lot of people between you and them, reflect on that, think about it. Maybe it's because they think that you're not, at least to them, you're not that accessible, or that because you're always surrounded by people, they don't really get a chance to make their move. That might be it. Or they might feel like there are a lot of people in the line to get closer to you, and that in itself might be something that doesn't really work wonders for their confidence level. That might be the case. And somewhere with space and growth, it also seems as if your crush feels like you're out of their league. I just heard that. So you might not think that way because you obviously have a crush on this person. So you might not think that you are out of their league. In fact, you might think this for them. But then, happy surprise, they think the same way about you. All right. Now, let's see. Will they take any action towards you or not? So, for that, we have the moon. Now, the moon definitely links very well with the surrender and space energy for you guys. They seem to be a lot in their head right now, and with the moon card over here, because they feel like there are a lot of people between you both, and of course they haven't really managed to invade your space just yet, they might not have a lot of clarity regarding how you feel for them, what do you want for them, or where do you stand with them. So that might be one reason, but especially because this woman is sitting over here on an iceberg, and then we also had surrender over here, I'm not seeing them taking any action towards you in the near future. So let's see that if you were to take any action towards them, how would they respond? So for that, we have the King of Wands. Now this is interesting. Almost immediately there's a change in their energy from being very shy and very timid to being very bold, very brave, very upfront. So if you were ever to initiate a conversation with this crush of yours, they will talk to you with a lot of confidence. They will use that as an opportunity to create a good image of themselves in your mind. In fact, you would have never been able to guess that this person is usually very timid or very shy when they think about you, because when you're talking to them and when you are initiating the conversation, they seem to be able to, like, they do manage to hold a decent conversation with you, I would say. You might pick up on, and I just heard hyper confidence. So when you are talking with this person, in particularly you, nobody else, when you talk to this person, you might feel like there's this sense of hyper independence or hyper confidence in them. But I feel like it's just them really milking it, like really trying to make the most of an opportunity to sit well with you. I'm also being told that if you initiate a conversation with them, they might, through their body language, through their looks, and through what it is that they're saying, try to charm you a little bit. Okay, let's see what will happen next between you and this crush. So we have the Page of Pentacles over here. This does feel like the beginning of something, but then since it is the energy of a page, it is just very fresh, very new. So at the moment, of course, there does not seem to be a lot of longevity to it because it hasn't even started yet. And very clearly over here with the Princess of Pentacles, you know, holding the coin in her hand, and it might just be you. This Page of Pentacles, this energy over here, it might actually be you initiating the next step, wherein you might have grown tired with them being in the surrender energy, so you make a move towards them and then they make a most of that move of yours, something like that. But it might even indicate the beginning of a friendship between you guys, or even if at the moment you both just know each other, but you won't even exactly call each other acquaintances because there has not even been any significant highs or hellos between you guys, then this might indicate the beginning of that. But it's basically, you can say, the first step, the baby step of something that I see happening next. But in all probability, I think it's you initiating this and not them. Now let's see what advice would Spirit like to give to you. This is interesting. We have the Four of Swords over here. I would like to clarify this because with the Four of Swords over here, I'm getting two messages. First, of course, is that you might not need to take this next step. And the second message, of course, is that you don't need to bother yourself. Like, don't occupy your mind with just this person's thoughts, which I know is easier said than done. Obviously, when you have a crush on someone, you naturally tend to think about that person a lot, which is why I want to clarify this. Oh, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. All right, it seems as if you're being asked to wait for them to make the first move. It seems like you're being asked to wait and see if they can gather the guts to express their feelings or their emotions, or just in general, let them initiate, is the message over here, instead of you doing the initiating. Again, see, this is a general reading, and at the end of the day, you have your free will. If you do not want to take this guidance, if you want to go ahead and take an action, you of course can, nobody's stopping you. But for those of you who would like to stick to the guidance, if it sits well with you, of course, then it seems like at the moment you're being encouraged to wait for some sort of gesture from their end and then act upon it. All right, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group 1. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 2, if you guys chose the second image, let's begin your reading by taking a look at what does your crush think about you. So the cards that came out for you guys are Pig, that says maintain self-worth and self-esteem. And then we have Air Element, which says philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. So some of you might be having Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in your charts, but that's not necessary. Even if it isn't, you can still watch this reading. Firstly, I just heard that your crush thinks that you're incredibly, incredibly cute. So even if you don't think that you're cute, snap out of that delusion, because your crush finds you very endearing, very cute. Also, your crush has noticed that you have a very kind heart, and that there always seems to be this softness on your face, a gentle and polite and welcoming smile on your face. You know how you can tell, although of course it's often said that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but then sometimes there truly are people who are, living gems amongst us. And just by looking at their face, you can tell that this is a good person. So that's what your crush thinks about you. Just by looking at you, they can tell that you're a very, very good person. You're very kind hearted, you're very good, you're very helpful, and most importantly, you do not have any malice in your heart towards anyone. From whatever it is that they've observed about you, however much it is that they've interacted with you, they've come to the conclusion that your self worth is very high. You think very highly of yourself, and not in a negative sense. It's just that you're not someone who will sell themselves short. You're not someone who's underconfident. You're not someone who's always turning to other people for advice or for guidance because you don't believe in yourself enough. So they know for a fact that you don't have any of those issues. They also feel like you have a lot of self esteem. You're not the kind of person who would ever go against their principles to do something. You're not the kind of person who will go ahead and do something just because somebody instructed you to do that. If it does not sit well with you, you will not do it. And they've noticed the fact that you have the gift of empathy. You're always very kind, very compassionate towards everyone, and you make other people's problems your own oftentimes. And the way you get invested in it, the kind of solutions that you come up with, it's almost as if you too are getting impacted by that problem, which is why it matters so much to you, which is why those people matter so much to you. They've also noticed with discrimination over here that you do not discriminate actually when it comes to people. It's not like you'll be very nice and very polite with one set of people and then you'll be like a vamp with other people. You don't do that. If you're good with everyone. And somewhere with philosophy, your crush also thinks that you might be the kind of person who enjoys long conversations, intellectual talks. You're not the kind of person, like your idea of fun and your idea of entertainment is very different from from what it is normally. Like for you, your idea of fun isn't Netflix and chill. Your idea of fun might be going to a library, going to the philosophy section, reading non-fiction, things like that. This crush of yours might have been someone whom you met while you were camping, hiking, you'd gone on some sort of an adventure. This could have been someone who came into your life as a result of a change in location of either yours or theirs. Okay, now let's see, how does this crush of yours feel about you? So for that, we have anxiety, all right. We have sweetness, and we have anger. All right, if this is someone who's connected with you on social media group 2, let me tell you that they always keep an eye out on your social media activity. um, what have you posted, what have you uploaded, who has liked your content, who are you following and who not. There seems to be this this undertone of obsession over here, to be honest. With anger over here, even if this is just a crush and even if they've never really confessed any feelings to you or something, it does seem like they're very like they have a certain amount of jealousy when it comes to you. Like they would hate to see you talking to someone else, they would hate to see you hanging out with someone else, being with someone else. And in fact, group 2, if you have ever caught them looking at you while you are talking to somebody else, and if you've noticed these weird expressions on their face, it is because they're getting jealous. They do not like it when you get close to somebody else. Now, with sweetness over here, definitely this crush of yours does have a sweet spot for you. They really like you, they really fancy you, they really admire you. And with sweetness over here, it seems like I said, there is this sweet obsession or guilty pleasure feeling that's coming across for you. However, with anxiety over here, I do feel like sometimes it channels into a lot of nervous energy. So, just in case while interacting or talking to this crush of yours, you've noticed that They start looking here and there, or they start fumbling, or their hands start getting sweaty, or their touch is cold. It's because of that nervous energy that they start being in whenever they're around you. And see, the thing about anxiety and anger over here is that it's the anxiety is twofold. First is, of course, because the feelings that they have for you are not in their control, and it's almost overwhelming. All right. So the admiration that they have for you, this fondness that they have for you, is so overwhelming at times that it makes them anxious because they just don't know how to channel it or what to do with it. And the second reason where the anxiety stems from is because with anger over here, there is this fear that somebody will take you away. That before they even get a chance to shoot their shot, somebody else will take you away. So that's why, too, there is this anxiety. Okay, now let's see, will this crush of yours take any action towards you or not? So we have the Emperor over here. Slim pickings, honestly, I would say, because the Emperor is sitting over here almost as if they, and interestingly enough, there is a lot of red over here, and we did have anger over here. So, one thing is for sure, group two, the intensity of your crush's emotions for you is way more than the intensity of your emotions for them. With the presence of the Emperor over here, like I said, now this might not necessarily be somebody who teaches you or somebody who's necessarily your boss or older than you in age. You obviously know who your crush is, but it seems like they'd rather wait. So they'll either wait for you to make a move, or unless and until they have successfully triumphed over this anxiety and reached a state of confidence, they might not take any action towards you. And the thing is that since they're sitting in the Emperor's energy, you might feel like, oh, but they seem to be a very well rounded, a very confident individual in their talk and in their body language. So you wouldn't know that when it comes to you, group two, they do have this nervous energy to them. Which is why, unless and until they have the confidence that, okay, I know exactly what it is that I have to say, when do I have to say it, I have the perfect opportunity, they might not be making any move. No impromptu move, I would say. Now, let's see, if you were to make a move towards them, how would they respond? So that we have the Queen of Cups. Almost immediately, group two, if you were to make a move towards this person, you will notice a very soft, gentle side of theirs coming through. Lots of smiling, eyes sparkling, and just, like a soft voice, really looking into your eyes. Very caring, very nurturing. It's like, almost as if time has stopped for you both, and they're just so consumed by every word that's coming out of your mouth. They just seem so interested and so invested in whatever it is that you're saying and you're doing. And I do feel like if you make a move towards them, it'll make them very, very happy, very, very excited. Almost as if it's like a wish come true for them that, oh, yes. So group two finally made a move towards me. Group two noticed me, is what I just heard. So I think even you making a move towards them will be equivalent to them feeling like, oh, they finally noticed me. And that in itself will be something that really excites them, makes them very, very happy. And overall, with the Queen of Cups, I do feel like you'll get a good response from them if you make a move towards them. Something that, like the kind of response that you get from this person if you were to make a move towards them, will give you emotional satisfaction. So you'll be happy with the kind of response that you get. Okay, now let's see what'll happen next between you and this crush of yours. So for that, we have the Two of Swords over here. Interesting. I will clarify this. For some of you, it seems like you both might be put together in a project, and you might have some clash of opinion over there. It also seems as if with the Two of Swords over here, the next thing that's happening in this connection is that both the people don't know what to do next. So they're waiting for you to make a move, you're waiting for them to make a move. So the connection has reached a state of limbo. It can be that as well. So let me just clarify this. Yeah. With the King of Swords over here, most likely this is the lack of initiation from either your end or their end. Because of that, the next thing that happens is that there can be a lot of confusion. Do they even like me? If they like me, why haven't they said anything? Should I say something or not? So, around communication and confidence, these two key areas can lead to some sort of like things slowing down a little bit, you can say, when it comes to you both. And honestly, it makes sense. I mean, please don't blame yourself for it. See, we have already seen in your crush's energy that when it comes to you, they get anxious and they will not make a move unless and until they're confident. So maybe you too feel that anxiety, maybe even you feel very um, shy or underconfident and you don't feel brave enough to make a move towards them just yet, which is absolutely fine. But just know that going ahead, this very thing, and it's almost it's very similar, what you're feeling and how they're feeling, what your fears are. But basically, because of that, there can be some suspension going ahead. Now, let's see what does Spirit have to say to you regarding this connection. So, we have the Nine of Cups for it. I'm getting two messages from this. Both of them are really great. So, the first message that I'm channeling is that if it is your sincere wish to get into a relationship with this crush of yours, there is a huge, huge chance of this wish getting fulfilled and of you getting into something serious with this person. And the second wish is that till the time this actually happens, till the time this connection moves forward, till the time they gather enough confidence and you gather enough confidence, what you need to do is focus on your other wishes, other smaller or bigger wishes, right? Getting together with this crush is obviously not the only thing on your bucket list, right? So, whatever else it is that you want for yourself, whatever other goals you have for yourself, I feel like working on those goals, and you have to understand it is all linked together. The more you go on accomplishing whatever it is that you want, the more it keeps adding to your self worth and to your confidence. And who knows, ultimately, it can add up to the level of confidence that is required for you to make a move towards them, right? So, that's what you need to focus on right now. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. Group 2, if you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello Group 3, if you guys chose a third image, let's begin your reading by taking a look at what does your crush think about you. So the cards that came out for you guys are Parrot, which says listen intently to understand. And we have Tall Whites, which says uncertainty, distrust, and guarded. Very interesting. This might be your physical description for some of you, Group 3. You guys might have a fair skin, you guys might be tall in stature. Regardless, even if that's not what you look like, you can still watch this reading. So, what does your crush think of you? Firstly, they absolutely, absolutely love your voice. And another thing that your crush has noticed about you, Group 3, is that you're the kind of person whose eyes really, really start sparkling and your face just breaks out into a smile from year to year when you start talking about things that you really like and things that get you excited. And that excitement and that happiness and that passion is very evident on your face. Like nobody can get you to shut up once you start talking about certain things or certain situations, which they've noticed. And I'm saying they've noticed because I feel like they haven't exactly or necessarily been a part of those conversations. They've listened to you talk to other people, but they might not have been a part of that group. They might not have been a part of that conversation. So, this might be someone whom you more or less interact with frequently, but then not directly. So, they might be someone who sits next to you at your work, but you don't talk to them. Or this might be someone who goes into the office kitchen with you or the pantry with you, the break room with you, but you don't talk to them directly, but they've heard you talking to other people. So that's how they know that these are the kind of conversations that you hold. And just in case you've ever noticed that this person lingers around for longer than usual, it is because they love listening to you. They love your voice, and like I said, they in general love listening to you. And unfortunately, because they're not a direct part of the conversation, they find little ways to stay in the same room as you and linger around for as long as possible so they can get to listen to you talk. They think that when it comes to them, or maybe in general, you're someone who's very guarded, you talk to a very limited number of people, you hang out with a limited number of people, and it's not that easy to get closer to you. Because although when you are with your people, this is how you are, otherwise, you're very guarded. Otherwise, you have this very almost blank expression on your face, or you might be the kind of person who has a resting bitch face, if you know what that is. So you're not the kind of person who's exactly very approachable, and they get that, they feel that. They think that perhaps the reason why you're so guarded, or the reason why it's not that easy to just walk up to you and say hi, is because maybe you have trust issues. Now, this might just be guesswork from their end, or maybe it actually is true. Maybe you genuinely do have trust issues, because of which you do not really make yourself accessible to just about anyone. But they definitely seen that. They've noticed that. In fact, it's so interesting that even if there have been instances when you both where you both were standing literally right next to each other, you did not say a word to them, they did not say a word to you. But the tension was there, the chemistry was there, the urge was there, but nobody acted on it. All right, now let's see, how does your crush feel about you? So for that, we have peace, confidence, and we have ghost. All right. So see, one thing is that with peace over here, your crush definitely does not want to do anything to get in your good books, to get in your bad books. All right. Because right now, even if you both don't really talk to each other, at least there's no bad blood, right? It's not like you cannot stand them and they cannot stand you. And it seems like they want to maintain that. The thing is that on their own, your crush is someone who's a very confident individual. All right, it's not that they have any issues walking up to someone and striking a conversation with them. But when it comes to you, and because they get this feeling of you being very guarded, and not really being in a mood to entertain just about anyone, that is why they have this feeling, you can say, that you might ghost them. All right, that even if you talk to them, it might be out of pity, that oh, just because they had walked up to you and just because they'd said hi, so you said a few words and that was about it. You do not really bother talking to them on your own after that. I'm being told that for some of you this has happened. Wow. So for a few of you in the past, this crush of yours had approached you. They had perhaps tried to strike a conversation with you. You did talk to them a little bit, but then after that, you never initiated anything from your end. So they felt like you've basically ghosted them, or that you're not interested in them. It might seem as if your crush isn't interested, or they've accepted the fact that you'll never make a move, so what's the point? But that isn't true. It does bother them. It bothers them that you do not talk to them. They feel as if they're being singled out. But the interesting thing is that with the confidence card over here, I think you can say the same thing about them. You can also say the same thing about them, that I've noticed that this crush of mine goes around talking to basically everyone but me, so why do they expect me to make the first move when it comes to them? And that's why I said that it may be group 3, you both are more alike than you'd like to admit. And usually we say opposites attract, but in this case it feels like two very similar people have developed an attraction towards each other. And because you both think alike and have the same expectations from each other, that might be creating some hindrance over here. So they definitely feel like they would like to take things ahead in this connection. They feel like they would like to display their charming side in front of you as well. But then what stops them from doing so is the fact that it might not lead to anything substantial as far as you're concerned. And somewhere with uncertainty and ghost over here, just in case this is someone who knows of your history, who knows the history of your love life, because with Parrot over here, you might be one of those people, group 3, whom people like to talk about a lot. So they might have heard something from the grapevine. They might have heard things like, oh, group 3 is just fresh out of a breakup, or oh, group 3 used to date XYZ. So somewhere it's also possible that they feel like you're still not over your ex, and that is the reason why you're not being direct with them or not taking anything seriously with them. All right, now let's see, will this crush of yours make any move towards you? So for that we have the Eight of Wands. So chances are strong, group 3, with the Eight of Wands over here, that there can be some incoming communication from your crush's end towards you. They might talk to you on their own, initiate a conversation. This can be online, this can be offline, this can be a DM, this can be a WhatsApp message, this can be an email. This might also be a conversation that they initiate. The pretext, of course, might be that, oh, listen, we need to talk regarding something, let's say, official. But the truth is that maybe they didn't even really need to talk to you, or they didn't really need your approval for that particular thing. It's just an excuse that they have, and so they're grabbing that opportunity head on and trying to make the most of it and trying to talk to you. So definitely with the Eight of Wands over here, they will reach out to you, it seems, on their own. Now let's say that in case this doesn't happen, or you do not want to wait for this to happen and you decide to make a move towards them, how will they respond? So for that we have the Eight of Pentacles over here, which tells me that even if you were to make a move towards this crush of yours, group 3, you might keep the conversation very short. You might keep the conversation very to the point and very formal, very official. And because of that, their response will also then, of course, be along the same lines. So for example, let's say that if you walk up to them and if you ask them regarding some troubleshooting thing, so naturally then the response will be limited, that okay, first step, do this and then do that, and then you'll have your solution, or it should start working after this. So I don't think that you will give them enough material to use to take the conversation ahead. I think you'll just give them enough material to have that one conversation with you, and that's it. They might not be able to take it anywhere further because of the nature of the conversation that you are striking, group 3. Because, like I said, you might keep it very short and very formal. Okay, now let's see what's next for you in this connection with your crush. And for that, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is very interesting because with the Peacock's energy over here, this tells me that going ahead, both you and your crush will definitely try to grab each other's attention. Both of you will try to do silly things, or just in general hover around each other for longer than usual, just so that they notice you and you notice them. However, it seems over here with the Nine of Pentacles, neither will you go out of your way to do anything, and nor will they. However, I mean, like if I had to pick, of course, with the Eight of Wands over here, chances of them breaking the streak is stronger as compared to you. But for the next few days, it seems over here with the Nine of Pentacles that both of you will try to grab each other's attention. You both will try to flaunt yourselves in front of the other person, looking good, dressing good, smelling good, all of that, or talking louder than usual. It's a very human thing to do. Like if you want to grab someone's attention, very subconsciously, we start talking loudly while that person is passing by. So you might engage in subconscious behavior like this, and so might they. But it's basically just two people trying to grab each other's attention is what I see happening. But with the Nine of Pentacles over here, definitely, at least in the near future, I'm not seeing any commitment or any strong relationship as such happening between you guys. You both seem to be staying in your own lanes, but simultaneously trying to like just wave from where you're standing and see if the other person will notice or not. Now let's see what advice would Spirit like to give to you regarding this connection. All right, very interesting. So we have the Four of Cups over here. See, the first obvious message over here with the Four of Cups is that for some of you, because of this crush, or you might be so focused on this crush that you are ignoring some other person, maybe in the same vicinity or maybe not, who might actually be a better match for you. Because let's be honest, going forward, what we are seeing happening over here, it's just like games, mind games that you're both playing with each other, right? So that's the first message that I'm getting. Second message that I'm channeling with the Four of Cups is that if this crush of yours does make a move towards you, don't play too hard to get. And if you make a move towards them, and if you feel like they're acting too pricey, or if they're acting too hard to get, then just don't bother yourself with it anymore. But let's see if this Four of Cups has any other message. I would like to clarify this. Yeah, so with the Knight of Pentacles over here, it's the second message that I'd got, that if at all you were to make a move towards them, but despite your effort, if you feel like they still seem to be stuck in their ways, or they still seem to be acting very pricey, or just, doing all these gimmicks, but they're not really making any move, or not really matching your efforts, you can say, not really matching your efforts, not really matching your pace, then don't bother yourself with them, and instead focus on someone who is evidently trying to win you. All right, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group 3. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.